What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Make sure that y'all like the stream. I'm going to talk about Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose's sister put out a video. We're going to take a look at it of, I believe, him and possibly a realtor going into the house that he bought for his mother. His mother passed away. And I believe he's looking to sell the home, but his lazy sister is still in the home. And she believes that because she was taking care of her mother a couple of years before she passed in 2021, that she's obligated to keep the home without paying any bills or, I believe taxes that he's going to own the home, because I'm pretty sure he owns it. That's why he's looking to sell it. That house is a burden on him. His mother is no longer here, and he wants to sell the home so it's not a financial burden. And probably there are maybe some memories and things that he doesn't want to deal with anymore. But again, because of the burden of a successful black man, there's always a lazy ain't shit sister who is living off the mother, lazy, don't want to work. In a society where women claim they're doing better than men, you still got these lazy individuals in the family who still believe that they are entitled to something that they did not work for. How are you going to maintain a home and you ain't even working or paying bills? Because if she was working and paying bills, she would be able to move on. She wouldn't be trying to keep that home. Just because you took care of his, well, she said it was her mother, not his mother. We're going to get into the video. Just because both of your mother lived in that home, he bought that home for her. He didn't buy the home for you. You're not his mother. You're his sister, somebody that he probably hasn't gotten along with in a very long time. And the fact that she recorded him getting all in his face, you should spend that energy going out and getting a job and supporting yourself. I would not doubt this woman has children. And she thinks that she's entitled to keep the house. Most of these heifers are very entitled. Very entitled. That's why a society goes downhill when you allow women to take leadership positions. Because entitlement mixed with not knowing what you're doing, mixed with probably laziness. Jalen is tired of it. And we don't know what is going on behind the scenes, but she thinks that this is going to ruin his reputation. Let me tell you why this doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, I'm going to show you why this doesn't matter. All right. This is the article. We'll get into it. Jalen Rose just got an extension at ESPN. So they just extended his contract. He's going to continue his role there, whether you put a phone in his face or not. We're going to talk about this today, but after today, no one's going to care about Tamara Rose. I believe that's how you pronounce her name, because yes, you are a squatter, and he has every right to sell that home, especially if you're not taking care of it and you're not paying, because if you want that home so bad, pay the taxes on it. You don't want to do that. I believe her and Jalen have had these conversations before, and she's told him that she ain't paying nothing. So let's get into this article from the Shadow League. This man, Jalen Rose, called me a squatter. Tamara Rose calls out brother Jalen Rose for selling her dead mother's home, her mother, not their mother, while Tamar lives in it. Jalen Rose is being accused of being a bad brother by none other than his sister, Tamara Rose, took to social media to trash her famous brother, who she claims is kicking her out of her deceased mother's home. And I don't blame him at all. Get your ass out. You're not entitled to that home. You're a bum. My mother passed 20 months ago. I am still grieving her loss. How dare you bring anybody in here to go in my mother's room, Tamara wrote on Instagram. This man is acting as if I do not exist and I do not live here. It will be 4 years in March. He has always said, I don't know what it is about Detroit N-words. I've been all over the world, but it's some about Detroit N-words. They think somebody's supposed to take care of them. It ain't just Detroit, Jalen. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, bro. I'm not just some N-word off the street. I'm your sister, grew up in the same house as you, took care of you, raised you. You would do this to me? Yeah, he would. He would, because you're older. All right, probably a lazy Gen Xer. These Gen X women are something else, man. You let these white people see you treat your sister this way with no conscience, heart, or soul. The way I've been bullied, threatened, and taunted, and harassed, degraded, and disrespected us totally. Rose lost his mom, Jean, to cancer in February of 2021 during Mother's Day of that year. On NBA Countdown, the Hooper Turn broadcaster paid tribute to her with a video detailing how she came up with his name Jalen and how it became popular due to the Fab Five players' athletic abilities. Whenever I see a player, especially nowadays, whose name is Jalen, I always think about Jalen Rose. You know what I'm saying? However, in his sister's mind, her brother is a sellout for wanting to sell his mother's home, especially with her still in it. This is what happens when you find your voice, decide to tell the truth, and are no longer protecting your abuser. I'm tired of being quiet. I'm tired of taking abuse in silence. I don't think Jalen, the way that she acted on that video, I don't think Jalen is the abuser. I think in her mind, she sees him as her abuser. I'm tired of taking abuse in silence to maintain his public image, knowing he's been lying for the last 26 years. This man has rewritten our family history with his lies. Jamara continue. I believe Jalen Rose has brothers. I don't see them trashing his reputation. It is you, the lone female, that has an issue with them. Has left a wreckage of people behind him who were used and disposed of. You will not get away with disrespecting me or mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, physically, or financially abusing me anymore. Keeping it all in is killing me. The truth will set me free because I'm not living the lie with or about the man anymore. He just as real as his hair and his teeth. To sell your sister out and try to force her out of our mother's. Oh, so it's our now. I thought it was your mother. Our mom's home. That's our mother. Absolutely did not want sold. Is straight up disgrace and dishonoring to our mother. I don't think so. I think he always was going to do that once she passed away because there was nobody else to take care of things. There was nobody else there to take care of things. He had every right to sell it. He had every right to sell that home because he paid for it, not you. Instead of you going out there and building a career and success for yourself, you've done nothing but live off Jalen. That's why she talks about she's been taking nothing but abuse from him because your lazy ass has been living off Jalen for all these years. See, when you live off people, they're going to treat you a certain type of way. I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying if you're living off anybody, I'm not just saying Jalen, it could be anybody who is successful and rich. If people are living off of them, they're going to treat them a certain way. So if you didn't want Jalen to treat you a certain way, then you probably should have found yourself somewhere else to stay. You should have never been able to ask him for anything. See, people can't treat you a certain kind of way if you don't need them. You have been needing Jalen probably for a long time. That is why you in this situation. And you really thought he was going to let you keep that house. That's what she's mad about. She's mad because she thought that house was hers. Rose has two sisters, and the family did not have Jalen's father in the home. Jalen's biological father, Jimmy Walker, was the #1 overall draft pick in the 1967 NBA draft. Walker played alongside Jerry West in the 1972 NBA All-Star game. Rose never met his father in person, and he died in July of 2007 of lung cancer. This man, Jalen, called me a squatter in the video 2 times in front of a white woman who was a complete stranger. Squatter? Really? I've lived here since 2019 happily and was honored to be able to take care of my mother and my grandmother in this house until they both passed. Yeah, but that's not your home. That was his mother's home. That wasn't for you. Let's take a look at this video. Let's get into this video. This is according to Hip Hop Vibe. And I want y'all to see the absolute. She claims she's being abused. But why are you living there? Your mother didn't pay for that home. He paid for the home. For your mother who was ailing. It was never meant to be your home, ever.
Clothes and getting my summer stuff ready and trying to continue to be healthy. But then I got to keep dealing with this idiot and this foolishness. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in there. Don't go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. My mother just died last year, okay? And you bringing strangers all in here, Jalen Rose, to walk to your mother's house that you love so much, that you tried to sell her house a year after she passed while your sister's still living here in it. And you had the audacity to call me a squatter when I took care of our mother and our grandmother in this house. You got a lot of nerve, Jalen Rose. You got a lot of nerve. And I hope the whole world see how much nerve you got now and how fake and phony you been talking about how much love you got to your mother and your family. Mighty funny. The man with the mic ain't got nothing to say today. Ain't that strange? Ain't that strange? How you gonna sell a house somebody live in and been living in for the...
No, yes, because that was his mother's house, or I will say, I ain't want to say his mother. That was both of your mother's home. That was not your home. You're living there because you think that's your house now. You think that's your house now. You thought that if you just stayed there and took care of her until she passed, that Jalen would let you live there and not pay none of the taxes or anything that's owed on the home, not take care of it, and take care of it. You thought that this was going to be your home. Well, you thought wrong, and he's selling it, and you're going to have to find some place to stay. It don't matter how many of these videos you do, and this doesn't make it look good. This doesn't help. Instead of you having some logic and actually speaking with Jalen and coming to some sort of understanding and agreement, so he's not financially burdened with the home, you want to go and post this video because you got emotional, because this is how you heifers solve things. You try to put things online to make people look bad. Let me tell you something right now. People are going to talk about it for a day or two and they're going to forget about it.
The last 3 years and not communicate. This what this guy is on.
By the way, I don't believe that. I don't believe Jalen was not communicating with her. She did not like what he was telling her. See, look at that entitlement. She claims he was abusive. Look how she was yelling. If I'm Jalen, I'm trying to stay away from her. This is a very manipulative heifer, man. You got these manipulative heifers out here who love to manipulate a situation. She really thought that Jalen was going to allow her to keep that home and just let her keep the home after her mother passed. And he said no. And that's what she's mad about. She thought that house was going to be hers. That is pure entitlement. Get your lazy ass out of that home and go get your own, instead of focusing on what Jalen paid for. If Jalen was such a bad guy, why would you want anything that he paid for? That's entitlement. These heifers are so entitled, they think that something that somebody else paid for belongs to them. That home does not belong to you, and you are a squatter because he warned you. I'm pretty sure he warned you that he was going to sell that home, and you was like, whatever. Like a lot of you heifers do, because you think people playing with you, and he wasn't playing with you. So you're going to have to find someplace else to stay. You can get upset all you want to, but the truth is you are where you are because of you. You could have easily found a way to fix that situation so it didn't come to this. But you chose a different route because, like I said, a lot of these women have entitlement issues. They think they're entitled to what somebody else paid for. she really thought that if she took care of their mother until her mother passed, that home would be hers. That's the only reason why she did it. If she knew Jalen was going to sell that home before she did all that, she probably wouldn't have done it. Knowing just how entitled she is, just look at her yelling into the phone. Do you think that that's somebody that is being abused, that is being manipulated, and you know, all these different things she's claiming that Jalen is doing? All she's doing is projecting. She's just projecting. All the things that she's doing now is just a projection of what she is. I don't think Jalen has any bad intentions whatsoever when it comes to their mother. I just think that she just doesn't like the fact that he has power in the situation, because a lot of these women are feminists. They're womanists. They hate men, especially men in their own family, black men who have money and authority. They cannot stand that. So let me know in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.